Hello again. This is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and I'm here today with Katy. And Katy and I have never met, never spoken, so this is all brand new. Katy, hello and welcome. Thanks for being part of We Offer Wellness. Let's find out more about you, starting with where are you based, please?
So I'm based down in Berkshire, but all the work that I do is online. I can speak to anybody from anywhere.
Wonderful. What a great world we live in now where people can do their wellness practice from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. I mean, we offer wellness. We've got people from South Africa now, from Greece, from Austria, Bali, and Berkshire. All right, so all very good, right? But let's tell us a bit about you. They'll tell us about you. So, what is your thing into the wellness world? All right, I've got no idea.
Oh, excellent. So I'm Katie. So I am a doctor by background. So I've been working in the NHS for about 10 years. Lots of experience in lots of different fields of medicine. But now I do health coaching. So I offer a service to anybody who's having issues with their health or their well-being. So I look at things like lifestyle, but mainly I guess my niche is that I help people who've got complicated medical problems. Um, and I help guide them through whatever process they're going through. So we'll talk about treatments, we'll talk about investigations. I'll make sure they've got all of the up-to-date evidence-based information that they need, so they're not kind of Googling and scaring themselves half to death. And we talk about sort of what to talk about in the appointments that they're going to. And then we look at lifestyle stuff. So we make sure that they're doing everything that they can at home on their own to improve their well-being and their health as much as they can. So it's about, yeah, giving them information and support through that kind of health journey.
Is this for children as well, Katie?
I can see children. Yes, I do have a few clients who are under 18. I do specifically a little bit of work with neurodiversity. So anybody who's had like an autistic diagnosis or ADHD, for example. So I can see children as well.
And how did this all come together for yourself? So you got your professional background. Did you see and identify an opportunity where perhaps something was missing for people and saw how you might be able to help,
Yeah, I mean it's always been something that I've done alongside my career. You've always got friends and relatives who come to you and ask you kind of medical advice alongside. But actually, I found that, the medical world itself is so complicated, so confusing, very fast paced. Nobody's really got, especially in the UK where we have, the NHS, everybody's struggling. But even people who've got private insurance, it's all very confusing, very complicated. Um, and so I had so many people who would come to me and ask me things about the appointments they've been to, or oh, what does this mean? And should I be taking this medication with this medication? And I found I was doing a lot of this stuff actually in my day-to-day life. And so when I left the NHS, because of a need to actually help people more on a one-to-one basis and in a more in-depth way, and I couldn't do that within the NHS. That was kind of what led me to the health coaching thing. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really nice to be able to help people on a longer term basis and see a real difference in their lives from the work that we do. And it's all very simple stuff. So it's really great.
Oh, look, no, this is lovely. And I'm glad this is in the world. This is it. I think coaching in all its various forms is a great thing because it helps. It helps people, doesn't it? Go from step to step from this part of the journey. So fantastic, and I can clearly see that you bring all your professional knowledge and understanding and training and experience into the mix, which is more valuable than a Google search. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so we've got all that going on. So someone comes into We Offer Wellness, and if they're searching for something, but they don't quite know, but they've got that kind of, instinct, nagging something, what would be some of the key words, Katie, that in their search bar they would be looking for that would help them find their way to you? What would be some of the key words, please?
So health coaching generally. I think there's a few experiences on there that I've got. So one of them is crisis health coaching. So somebody who's kind of had a new diagnosis or they've got a new symptom and they're going through lots of investigations and they're just really feeling lost and out of control. So that program would be great. And that's a kind of longer session that's a bit more in depth and we look at everything. Then there's a course of sessions on there for anybody who's returning to work. So we look at anybody who's returning to work from sick leave, particularly, which would be sort of my niche, but I'll help parents who are coming back from parental leave, anybody really. And that would be a course of sessions, just looking at anything that we can do to kind of help that transition back into work and get them feeling really comfortable with that. And then there's kind of health and well-being coaching. But if they look at health coaching, then that will bring me up.
And is it arranged in a 60-minute session at a time? And is that kind of long enough to start something and to be in a process or an experience of something at the time? Is kind of how you're doing it, Katie?
Yeah, so I would normally do a slightly longer session to start with so that we can properly do a deep dive into all of the aspects of someone's health and well-being. And so just so I've got a really good picture of what's going on and the areas where that person wants to work on. And then after that, it would be kind of, sort of 50, 60-minute sessions, depending on how long they need. But yes, that's about the sort of time frame we're looking at.
And for an under 18-year-old, okay, what would be some of the, if there's some sort of very specific or very clear reasons why a parent or guardian would want to bring someone under 18 to you, what kind of thing or reasons would be there for that?
Yes, I mean, if they've got a long, children do also have long-term health conditions that require some attention and can leave people feeling out of control and need lots of therapies and coming in and things. So anybody who's got, I don't know, a disability or a long-term health condition, say cystic fibrosis or something like that, where they've got lots of health professionals and they just want somebody to kind of come in and tie it all together and make sure that they're feeling in control. But then you've got the neurodiversity aspect. So teenagers, anybody who is struggling at school and needs some help and support with kind of coping mechanisms for how to cope with exams or how to deal with schoolwork generally, and they're just going through maybe that process of diagnosis, or they've had the diagnosis but school are not being that helpful. So so I can support through all of that sort of thing as well.
And thanks. And also, would it include an element of signposting if somebody, for example, my wife and I, we also teach Tai Chi Qigong, and the GP does, we get people come to us because the GP said, go and do some gentle movement, get active. So again, is that sort of something that you do and work with, that you think, okay, I've done this what I can with a person, maybe they should try that. So that's also a signposting sort of service in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not there. I don't have a license to practice medicine. Obviously, I have a medical degree and I have a lot of knowledge, but I'm not giving specific medical advice. So if there's an area where I can see that there's a need, so say somebody needs some physiotherapy or somebody would benefit from, say, some gentle exercise, then yes, absolutely, I can signpost. I often send people links to information that I know is evidence-based and actually correct and factual, and up to date. So I'll send people links to information. But yes, absolutely. And sometimes I'll say to people, actually, do you know what? This needs to be discussed with your GP. So I'll sort of signpost them back to that person. But I'll always talk through the key aspects of whatever problem it is, and make sure that they feel like they're in control when they do go to that appointment, that they know what they're going to ask. But yes, absolutely, signposting is definitely a thing that I do.
Katie, that's great, and I get the sense that someone would feel really quite reassured actually by having those kind of conversations with you, and that can be worth its weight in gold, just that alone. So look, please, people, come and find Katy, health coaching. If not for yourself, but for someone that you know, a loved one, a family member, a friend, a colleague, or whatever, you know, this is the sort of stuff we want people being connected to and being part of. So, Katie, thanks for being part of Wheel for Wellness and doing what you're doing. And people, please do come and find Katy and get connected. So, Katy, thanks for doing this today. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
our paths will cross soon in one way or another. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.